The End 2017. The movie The End starts with a successful businessman named Claudio who is on his way to the office in the morning. He has an important meeting today. Claudio is picked up by his driver, Ricardo, and on the way to the office, they are delayed by some chaos on the road. Claudio decides to take a different route, and Ricardo turns on the car radio, where a reporter is reporting that people are causing small disturbances all over the place. This news does not sit well with Claudio, who is already in a rush for a special meeting and wants to keep a cool head, so he turns the radio off. In the meantime, he receives a call from his assistant, Sarah, who informs him that the client is waiting for him at the office. Claudio tells her that he is on his way to the office. Ricardo then drops him off at the office, and upon entering, he is informed by his worker Sylvia that the client is waiting for him in his cabin. Then he starts running to reach the lift, as his cabin was on the top floor. In the lift, he meets a lady named Marta, who had already entered the lift. Now it is known that there was an affair between the two, which is why Claudio starts bothering Marta and tries to kiss her. She refuses to do all this, after which he locks the lift and starts to force her. But Marta cunningly opens the lift and then walks away. Meanwhile, Claudio was supposed to go to his office, due to which he was still in the lift. During this time, his wife Lorna's phone call comes in which she was talking about the people of that group who were causing riots. But he tells her that he doesn't need to worry because he has reached his office. As soon as he ends the call, the lift gets stuck in the middle of the way. Afterwards, he calls the building manager and tells him to solve the problem quickly. The manager asks him to wait for a while until the lift's motor is fixed. Then, Sarah calls him and asks why he hasn't arrived at his cabin yet. He then tells her that he is in the office, but he is stuck in the lift. He tells Sarah to ask the client to wait for a few more minutes. Then, he calls the manager and asks why the lift has not been fixed yet. The manager informs him that the lift's power engine has malfunctioned and a mechanic is required to fix it, and he is currently looking for the mechanic. After some time has passed, he tries to open the lift doors by himself, but only after many attempts is he able to open them a little, because a lock was stuck in the door. He then tries to leave through the open door, but because the path was narrow, he couldn't. He then tries to call for help, but there is no one on that floor to hear his call, so shouting for help was of no use. Meanwhile, Lorna calls him and tells him that somebody is trying to knock down the door of the house and come inside. Listening to this, Claudio asks her to be calm and not to worry, but she was very scared and asks him to come home. But Claudio explains to her that he has a very important meeting today and cannot miss it. Lorna was feeling very disturbed, which is why he told her that he was sending someone for help. After that, he calls his friend Stefano and asks him to go to Lorna, but Stefano tells him that he is busy and cannot help Lorna at the moment. But Claudio tells him that after arriving at home, he must check on Lorna once. Now he calls Lorna again and tells her that there is no need to worry, Stefano is on his way. In the meantime, she tells him that they are saying on TV that people are going crazy and attacking others, but Lorna thinks that they are terrorists, and Claudio tries to calm her down and tells her to stay calm repeatedly. Now after that, he tries to check on the internet if people are still roaming around, but he comes to know that the entire city has been put under curfew. Then he hears a noise from outside and see that people from his office are running outside the building. He tries to ask them, but no one pays attention to him. Then Marta comes here, and we see that she is very scared. She sees Claudio and tries to ask for help, but then someone grabs her from behind. Claudio tries to grab her hand, but he can't save her, and someone takes her away. After all of this, he becomes very scared, and the atmosphere around him becomes calm. As soon as he turns to look out the door, suddenly two zombies come, and he tries to attack them. But since the lift was closed, they were not able to come inside. Now, the sound of an individual is heard from the other side, and zombies move towards that direction to attack that person. On seeing all this happening, Claudio gets scared badly. In the meantime, Stefano calls him and tells him that he is on his way to Claudio's house, but Claudio informs him about the recent incident that he has seen some people who have gone completely mad. While they are talking, Stefano's car crashes on the roadside, and zombies start attacking him too. Claudio was feeling very upset at that time. Then the manager calls him on the lift's radio, and he tells Claudio that there may be a terrorist attack in the city, which is the reason for the curfew everywhere, and no mechanic is available. After this, Claudio is frightened and asks the manager to get him out of the lift. But then the zombies also arrive in front of the manager, and they kill him too. Claudio was feeling overwhelmed by this situation. He has started to feel worried about his wife, so he calls Lorna, but she does not answer his call. Then he tries to call Sarah, but she too does not pick up the phone. Then, suddenly, Sarah calls him back and tells him that she has locked herself in a confined place. Suddenly, a female zombie appears at the door of the lift and attacks Claudio. He dodges the attack and pulls out a rod that is fitted in the lift and kills the zombie in a cruel way. Some blood drips on his face, and then he cleans his mouth with a water bottle so he doesn't get infected. He then moves the dead zombie's body out of the way and tries to cover the blood in the lift with his office papers, so the other zombies won't be attracted by the smell. In the meantime, he sees Sylvia, who was standing outside the lift, trying to hide from the zombies. He alerts her and asks her to help him open the lift's door. Despite her efforts to open the door, Sylvia's efforts are in vain as the door is already stuck. In the meantime, the rod fell from Claudio's hand and the sound of this fall attracts zombies to come towards him. Now upon seeing this, Sylvia also attempts to go inside the lift, but she is unable to get in, leading her to escape from there. After she leaves, a zombie comes and tries to attack the lift. Upon seeing this, Claudio gets very scared and prepares the rod to attack the zombie. Then Sylvia comes here with a lamp and starts attacking the zombie. She repeatedly strikes it until the zombie is killed. Claudio is relieved to see someone dealing with zombies in the same way as he does, but then more zombies come, attacking Sylvia all at once, causing her to also be killed. Upon seeing this, Claudio is saddened that so many lives have been lost. He tries to quickly call Lorna to find out if she is safe or not. Lorna answers the phone, and Claudio tells her that everyone in the office has been transformed into zombies and he has become trapped in the lift. Now Lorna tries to calm him down, but zombies start attacking her, causing her phone to drop calls. Realizing that his wife is in danger, he becomes very sad and starts to cry. In the next scene, an office worker arrives at the lift and tells Claudio that he wants to hide in the lift to escape from the zombies. But Claudio informs him that the lift is broken, it is not opening, and he should hide somewhere else. Despite this, the man still tries to come in the lift. Suddenly, the zombies arrive, and he starts to run and hide. After some time, Claudio sees that the zombies are roaming outside and he tries to attract them by making noise, then starts to kill them with the help of the rod. In between, he sees that Sarah is also escaping from the zombies. Then, the zombie near Claudio sees him and starts to approach him. Seeing this, he tells the zombies to come towards him, but eventually the zombies kill Sarah. After that, Claudio starts to watch videos on the internet where the zombies were eating people badly. In the meantime, zombies come to the door of the lift again and try to catch Claudio. At the same time, the building's lights are also turned off, causing sudden darkness. Someone comes and shoots zombies. Seeing this, Claudio asks for help, and we see that the man who shot the zombie was actually an army soldier. Claudio is very happy to see him and asks about his other companions because they cannot open the lift together. The soldier tells Claudio that he came here alone and his connection with his team has been lost. The soldier introduces himself as Marcello and tells Claudio that he can start the lift by fixing the light of the lift. After that, Claudio asks him to go to the terrace floor of the building because the generator is kept there. Before going, the soldier gives him a walkie-talkie and a gun. He also gives him the walkie-talkie so that Claudio can guide him to the right path. Now, following the indicated route, it seems like Marcello is heading towards the generator in no time and encounters some zombies along the way, which Marcello kills with his shotgun. Meanwhile, Marcello turns on the lights of the building, which starts the lift, but the gate is still blocked. Then Claudio realizes that there is a lock stuck in the lift. As soon as he tries to remove that lock, zombies arrive and try to attack him. After hearing the sound of the zombies on the walkie-talkie, Marcello tells Claudio to use a gun. But Claudio was not able to shoot properly because his hand was shaking, so he could not aim. Then Marcello tells him to aim and shoot, and Claudio, listening to his words, kills the zombies. We see that he is very sad while doing this. Suddenly, Claudio hears the zombies sound again on the walkie-talkie and realizes that the zombies have attacked Marcello too. He starts to feel very regretful and realizes that there is only one bullet left in his gun. This makes him feel very anxious. It seems that he was looking at photos of his wife on his phone and feeling emotional. Then, he sees some survivors out the window who are escaping from zombies. He tries to call out to them, but no one hears him. Later, it gets dark and he grabs his gun, Claudio, and points it at himself. But then Marcello calls out to him and we see him up on the standing on the top of the lift. Upon hearing Marcello, Claudio regains consciousness and goes to the roof to try to open the top of the lift with Marcello, both trying to open the top together, and Marcello also joins him in the lift. Afterwards, they shoot the zombies standing at the gate with a shotgun, and in the meantime, we see that Marcello had been bitten by a zombie and has started to get infected by it. However, the two of them talk, and Marcello starts telling about last night when he was watching a comedy movie with his wife, and he starts laughing while thinking about it. At the same time, he tells that the army has safely evacuated many citizens and his wife is also fine. But Claudio is sad thinking about Lorenzo because, while talking to him on the phone, she was attacked by zombies. After some time, we see that Marcello's condition worsens due to being infected, and this prompts him to give the gun to Claudio and asks Claudio to shoot him. However, Claudio refuses to do so and stops him. Both of them take a break for some time. Later, Claudio realizes that Marcello's infection has spread throughout his body, and he has started to transform into a zombie. Then suddenly, Marcello attacks him, and even though Claudio doesn't want to, he shoots and kills Marcello. After hearing the gunshot, many zombies come towards the gate and Claudio starts shooting them, but he eventually faints from exhaustion. In the next scene, when his eyes open, he sees that all the zombies have left the gate. At that moment, an unknown number calls him, and when he picks up, he hears Lorna's voice from the other end, saying that she is fine and that the soldiers had saved her in the end. Upon hearing this news, Claudio is very happy and takes a deep breath of relief. However, his phone's battery had also run out and it shut down. Claudio tries to escape from there, and with the help of the rod, he breaks the lift's lock. He quickly opens the gate using the rod and escapes with a shotgun. In the meantime, we see that it is already morning. As soon as Claudio comes out of the building, a sprinting zombie approaches him. He tries to shoot it, but due to a lack of bullets, he ends up killing it by hitting it. Then he goes out where he sees the bodies of zombies everywhere. Then he reaches the bridge where a zombie tries to attack him, but just then someone shoots and kills it, and we see that it was the soldier who was camping on the other side of the bridge. Finally, Claudio approaches the soldiers asking for help, and this is where the movie ends.